Go ahead and pull it up. Pull it up. Oh. There you go.
Like this?
Yeah, give it a whiff.
Smell?
You missed, yeah, give it a whiff at the end of the root. You missed most of the root, which we'll get here in a second, but that's okay.
Oh.
Give it a smell.
The root
That
where you broke it.
That smells pretty good.
Does it smell pretty good?
Yeah, that smells good.
I'm out here introducing my grandson to wild ginger. We were blessed with his company for a couple of days. I wanted to show you guys how to identify it. It is also easily transplanted, and you can make candy and ear remedy, which I'm going to cover real quick. But let's go over what it looks like. The root goes left and right under the plant, and where it pops up from the rhizome or the root, there are always two stalks. They're very fuzzy, and in the center will be a maroon to brown flower that grows right along the ground. Now, I've always smelled them and have never smelled anything, but most of the books will tell you they somehow smell like carrion to beetles. Now, what makes this plant interesting is, as it gets bigger, this leaf will get oblong and kind of kidney shaped, but there's this geometrically kind of square hole in the heart-shaped or kidney-shaped leaf right at its base, and the tops of this will stay velvety all the way up into midsummer. The leaves will get almost 5 inches. The ginger is not the same ginger as the Asiatic ginger, but it is a pretty strong ginger-like smell, and pioneers did use ground ginger root as a substitute for Eurasian ginger. Now, on the leaf itself, there's a look-alike. Some people say, or it's a look-alike, is false lily of the valley, but the veins in false lily of the valley will go just straight up the leaf. It's a monocot. This is a diacot, which means there are veins that go multiple directions in the leaf. They go sideways. There's not just one main vein going up the leaf, but there'll be a vein that goes up and another one that winds off it and another one that winds off it. That's the difference between a monocot and a diacot. Now, the ginger roots that we harvest, they're right along the surface on the woods floor. If you just pull the leaves back away from the ginger plant, a lot of times you can see places where it comes right up to the top of the soil, and you can just get your fingers under it and lift that root up. Usually we do this from the center of the patch, and these can be harvested from the time you see the leaves to the time the leaves disappear. I'm going to include how to make a candy from this, which is what's normally being used as a tea, a candy, or a ground powder for a ginger substitute. And I will leave instructions at the end of the video on how to do those things. The syrup that we render from the candy also can be poured on ice cream, and it's quite delicious. Wild ginger is one that has always fascinated me. I've always nibbled on it and loved the smell. I will say that the majority of the people that I've spoken to about this do not know that it has aristocolic acid in it. And aristocolic acid is considered a carcinogen, and it is not recommended that people with kidney problems of any sort ingest ginger. Now, you're not ingesting the leaves, although I know of a person who was chopping up the leaves and eating them. That isn't something I'm recommending here. I'm recommending the traditional use of the root, and for its candy, for its tea, and an earache. You take a couple small pieces of root and you simmer it in a pot for 20 minutes, and then you take an eyedropper of the lukewarm liquid and put it in the ear, and it'll cure an earache, according to folk remedy. I've personally never done that. The candy that I'm going to leave the recipe for is delicious, and that's why we collect ginger. It is very, very mildly toxic because of the aristocolic acid, but if you're not ingesting pounds, you're perfectly safe to eat it. Your body just discards it whatsoever. And according to what I've researched, the aristocolic acid is not water soluble. So when you do make a tea from it, or you flavor your teas with wild ginger root, and you strain it, then you're not getting aristocolic acid. I've always admired this geometric square shape. When you pull it out like this, it makes this cute little square right where the leaf axil connects to the leaf. It's really fuzzy. The stems are hairy. This will be a dark brown to a maroon flower right on the ground level. Anyway, get out, get you some roots. This transplants pretty easily. You can keep your rhizomes and put them in a shaded area, loamy soil. They'll do really well. Really neat plant to learn. Wild ginger. Safe foraging, guys.